It is considered the world's most challenging endurance race, the 24-hour race at the Nürburgring and its legendary Nordschleife. 26 kilometers through the Eifel, an unpredictable and unforgettable adventure with more than 120 cars. The drivers, always at the limit, always fully focused. It's where heroes are born.
Quite sure that our team has a good performance.
We always go to the limit. Yeah. Everyone, we push to the limit, but not over the limit because, it's green hill.
Big night festival.
This team is more than ready. There's no doubt about it.
We are ready to rock 24 hours. We are TOYOTA Gazoo Racing Team Thailand.
TOYOTA Gazoo Racing Team Thailand celebrated a spectacular double triumph in the SP3 class last year. The team remember it as if it were yesterday. But it wasn't all sweetness and light, as the team had to spend some time in quarantine after returning to Thailand.
We have to quarantine for 14 days, so we have to wait for the victory celebration. Luckily, most of the media in Thailand, they interview us online.
Everyone will again have to quarantine upon their return this year. But the team put up with all the hardships for the 24-hour race. The Thais are still hungry for success.
Honestly, I think we have a lot of pressure because we have to defending our title, right? If it's possible, we need it again. Every kind of the sport, when you're winning, the second time is more difficult. That is natural.
The manufacturer's fight for higher top speeds is ever more difficult. The level of performance is getting higher and higher. But in the Toyota Corolla Altis, the team can rely on a tried and tested car.
We had a little bit change with the engines and also the wheels. So the thing is mainly almost same, and the strategy to fighting this race is almost same.
Qualifying on Thursday, the first session at lunchtime, the second one in the evening. The Toyotas racing through the Eifel along with 121 other cars. The stewards of the meeting declare the first qualifying a wet session. The drivers are extremely careful because of the difficult conditions. The two Toyota Corolla Altis have enough grip, the team securing P3 and P4 in their class. But then, number 119 is stationary at the exit to the Goodyear hairpin. The driver can do nothing. The next day, the team did a good job overnight, and the car is in the pit box again, ready to race.
And then they have some problem about the engine. So we have to change the engine.
Buoyed by the team's performance, driver Man shines with a lap time of 10.14 minutes, despite rain in the third session on Friday afternoon, securing P2 in the SP3 class.
Today the car is a very, very good setting. Everything is okay.
P2 and P3 mean Toyota Gazoo Racing Team Thailand seal a superb position for Saturday's race. Arto and his team constantly come up with new ideas. Their newest coup, Arto is planning a road version of the race car, a special edition still under development. Many people are involved, including the drivers, of course.
We let our driver every 1 day and listen from his comment, what is good, what is not good. We want to take the experience when we was here, put on the road car. Because many people want to come here, cannot come, but you can enjoy with this car.
Team Principal Arto has always been a visionary. He began his motorsport career about 45 years ago. Success, commitment, and passion mark out his career. Not only is he a strong leader and a supporter of young talent, the organizers of the 24-hour race have taken notice of his dedication to motorsport in general, naming Arto Ambassador of the Race, a special accolade.
Very surprised for me, very much. I don't know it before. So it's very, very happy about this award. A lot of meaning for me. I can feel that the organizer of here is thinking about our team. That is very happy.
Saturday morning, today's the day. The 49th edition of the 24-hour race of the Nürburgring roars into life at 3:30 in the afternoon. The final preparations for the race through the Eifel. Everyone is tense, but the team are positive.
We have an international team. Everyone can gather. Yeah, we can do it. We always smile because we are from Thailand, yeah?
The drivers seem relaxed, but the impression is misleading. The main focus is on finding the right strategy.
We'll try to get to the front and keep the pace and follow the team strategy.
They finally get going. The 24-hour adventure starts for the 8th time with Toyota Gazoo Racing Team Thailand. 24 hours through the green hell, packed with unpredictable surprises. Again this year, rain leads to chaotic conditions in the first 2 hours. It's pouring at times, with many cars skidding off track. There are 3 code 60 zones between Hatzenbach and Adenauer Forst alone. Jum and Nat remain composed. Their Toyota Corolla Altis lying in P1 and P2 in their class. The first driver changes. Hong takes over for Jum, Otto replacing Nat.
Quite a bit nervous because we are gas heavy rains or not. At the beginning it's about 10% wet. I think it's difficult to make a strategy, but finally I can keep the rain times until finish my stint. It's good.
The track isn't the only thing that's wet. The drivers' clothes are soaked. Their helmets are wet too. They must be creative for everything to dry. Finally, good news for everyone involved. The rain eases off, the showers moving away to the southeast. New rain is not on the forecast. Time for the first tyre change. The team are fully focused. Otto extends his stint by 1 hour. Leader Hong in number 120 gives way to Naoki. But the notorious Eifel weather strikes again. There is dense fog in certain sections.
At the moment, you can see the sky is all totally white. And it's getting dark. So dangerous, I think, yeah?
The teams are preparing for driver changes when the stewards make their call. Red flags. The race is suspended after almost exactly 6 hours. The fog in many sections poses a safety hazard. The cars are stationary, but the interest in the Toyota Gazoo Racing Team Thailand does not drop. The media attention is huge, in Germany too. Team Principal Otto is giving a live interview in the pit box. The stewards soon arrive at a decision. The race will only resume the next day. Time for a breather. The next morning, after a break of about 12 hours, the cars can get going again. The pit lane is open, with the cars moving to the starting grid. Driver Hong is upbeat, despite the long break. Time for a little joke among colleagues. The drivers start in the order they were in when the race was interrupted, but the gaps are annulled.
We have the gap in at least 6 minutes. We have to push hard to be in the front.
After 14 hours, the longest interruption in the history of the 24-hour race, the cars get going behind the safety car. The Toyota Gazoo Racing Team Thailand cars are lying in P1 and P4 in their class. There is no mistaking that the drivers are in racing mode from the off, despite the long interruption. Jum, Naoki and Hong in particular let off fireworks as they did at yesterday's start. Number 120 is unstoppable. Man in number 119 hits the gas, upping the pressure on his rivals. Man makes no mistakes, in contrast to some other drivers. The team are cheering in the lounge when the second Toyota reclaims a spot that would mean a podium finish. The final driver changes. Ton and Naoki take over from Man and class leader Jum.
The car behind us, the ADAC, is quite close after the red flag, just 2 positions behind us. So the set way to go like as fast as they can.
Ton and Naoki have nerves of steel and cannot be stopped. But 13 minutes before the end, panic grips the team due to Naoki's tyre damage. He makes it to the pits. Speed is crucial now. A tyre change shortly before the end, and Naoki rejoins the race. Yen at the Nürburgring. The team claim victory, their car crossing the finish line in P1 in the SP3 class. Ton's sister car finishes in P3. The Toyota Gazoo Racing Team Thailand are in raptures.
We try to get P1, P2 and the first, but because of the weather, everything, the strategy is changed. I think we're happy because if we have more time to run, I think we can catch up.
We can defend our victory, and it's one of the toughest races. A lot of crash, a lot of accident, but luckily we get through. So dream come true again.
We did it again, so we hope we can fight for next year again.
After last year's double triumph, the team achieve another outstanding result, the reward for meticulous hard work, ambition and team spirit. But they remain hungry. The Toyota Gazoo Racing Team Thailand will be back. We'll meet again in the 50th anniversary edition of the race at the Nordschleife.